Okay, welcome everybody. We are just starting here now. We had a couple of technical difficulties, but we are going to be letting everybody in now to the webinar for the E-Jobs4All, day 2 of the virtual orientation. Again, I am Matt Hawksley, CEO of Lidoco, and I'm here with Kingsley Kwaku-Pinkra, who is the CEO of CEDI Ghana. And for today, we're going to be walking through a little bit more on the specifics of the program, in addition to having a couple speakers as well. So we are going to get started in just a minute, getting some things settled, and just hold tight. We're going to be having a speaker brought into the panel here. 1 second. Hello, everyone. We're getting some more people coming in. As yesterday as well, feel free to put questions in the Q&A chat, and Kingsley and I will do our best to respond back to you as we move through this. You're going to be hearing from Queen's University today, as well as myself talking through some of the different parts of mentorship, and then you'll hear about the training. So you get a feel for exactly what's happening, what's going to happen next as you move forward beyond our virtual orientations here. So just bear with us. I think we're need to bring in one of the speakers, and then if not, we will just get started here. Okay. Just added Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade there, Kingsley, so he is there.
Hello.
Well, welcome, Professor. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, Kingsley, go ahead, take it away, and go from there.
Go ahead.
Prof, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we are good to start with you today.
Let me say that yesterday was a good time. I'm sure that the young people enjoyed the sessions, especially, at least for the first time, they were listening to a U.S. presidential hopeful, and therefore they have a good start for all their programs. I have looked at the outline of the Queen's University training program, and sometimes, you know, when you are old, you get jealous of the young persons. You wish you are young. Can I enroll as one of the young entrepreneurs and have Lidoco Incorporated mentor me to another level, even though I'm in my 75th birthday? But on a more serious note, both as a teacher, as a social entrepreneur, and someone who has had the privilege of at least being currently on not less than 10 boards, mostly private sector corporations. The future of Ghana lies with young entrepreneurs like you. And you are having unique opportunity to go through this Queen's University and Lidoco program. I want to encourage you, as you have the program fully introduced today, to have first the right attitude. And the attitude is to make the most of it. There are 32 million Ghanaians. For you to be selected among the 1,000 privileged, you should have a positive attitude that I won't go through this without getting the most of it. Then the second thing has to, what they are going to impart to you are the knowledge and the skills. And I can assure you that you will get one of the best training, because I know Queen's University. Some of my mates were in Queen's University when we were doing our masters, and I used to visit them. Before these young professors, they were probably in high school then. So I know that they have maintained a consistent way, and therefore I have no doubt about the program. But then it requires a lot of effort on your side and discipline. And I trust that you bring this on board. And if you do, even though things are not that easy in Ghana, you will have the support. Some of them, yesterday I heard it being promised of financial support, but there are many angel investors who are willing to put in their widow's mite to support young entrepreneurs. And I look forward at the end of your program to see that we are not getting the usual 1 in 10 success stories, but we are going to get much higher one because of the equipment you will get from this training. I wish you the best. And once again, on behalf of the program participants, I want to thank Queen's University and Lidogo for willing to bring your expertise to our doorsteps and to our young people. I thank you.
I'd like to then, at this point, we're going to talk through a little around the actual part of the program. So we'll advance this part of the portion of the conversation here. So as Dr. Stephen had mentioned as well, there's a great partnership of academics and I as well. So Queen's University has done a phenomenal job in working with a lot of African youth in multiple different programs. And I'm excited to actually bring up Chloe Besham, who's going to be talking a little bit about really what the program is going to be about, a little on the portal and the whole experience. So Chloe, if you don't mind putting your video on there, and then you can share your screen as well. Oh, I think you're on mute as well. There we go. Okay. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thanks.
So, screen. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So, my name is Chloe Bisham, and I'm a program manager with the Dun & Deshpande Queen's Innovation Center at Queen's University in Canada. And I want to thank Matt and Kingsley for inviting me to share a bit about what you'll learn in E-Jobs4All, where this training comes from, and really why these courses have been curated to help you succeed on your entrepreneurial journey. First off, DDQIC and Queen's University are extremely grateful and honored to be partnering with CEDI Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, JACCD Design Institute Africa, and Lidogo Incorporated to offer this inaugural cohort of the Entrepreneurship Jobs for All program. At DDQIC, we recognize that Africa's youth need opportunities to develop entrepreneurial skills so they can create dignified jobs for a booming workforce and have an impact throughout their careers. And so by partnering with E-Jobs4All, we're able to ensure that over 1,000 more youth have access to this essential training. And in this program, you will have the opportunity to develop your entrepreneurial mindset and skill set that will be required to succeed in today's rapidly changing economy. At DDQIC, this is really our mission to foster entrepreneurial mindsets. And over the last 10 years, we've been building change makers by supporting their entrepreneurial initiatives through incubators, workshops, programs just like this one, courses, and pitch competitions. Over the last 10 years, DDQIC has honed an entrepreneurship curriculum by helping hundreds of startups get up off the ground. And like Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade just mentioned, our hope is that your success will be greater than 1 in 10, greater than the general population. And throughout our work teaching entrepreneurs at DDQIC, our success rate has been around 40%. So the people who have undergone this training have demonstrated that they do have a much higher success rate in launching their ventures than the general population. On the slide is an overview of the training content that you'll have access to throughout E-Jobs4All on Queen's OnQ learning platform. So first, you'll receive access to the Disciplined Entrepreneurship Framework. This is a rigorous and systematic 24-step process to turn your idea into an innovative venture. And it was developed at by Dr. Bill Ollett at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is a leader of innovation in North America. You will also be given the opportunity to complete DDQIC's suite of online lectures. DDQIC has curated what we believe to be the most important topics to develop successful business founders, including entrepreneur and innovators mindset, design thinking, systems thinking, customer discovery, and more. And through this training, you will be challenged to answer the questions: who is my customer? What can I do for them? How does my customer acquire my solution? How will the solution be funded or become financially sustainable? How do I execute my solution? And how do I scale it? You will have access to worksheets that will help you take action on these questions and these important milestones in your venture. And your program coaches, who hail from across Africa and Canada, and who the E-Jobs4All team has carefully selected, they will help you apply the concepts to your worksheets and to your venture in a contextually relevant way. And you'll be able to rely on them for support, as they're very knowledgeable about the curriculum in this course. And then at the end of this course, your goal will be to create a business model canvas. And this is a one-page visualization of your new business. And it includes all the important aspects of your business that you will need to test out in the marketplace in order to adapt, grow, and scale. We will also offer you the opportunity to earn 2 free micro-credentials from Queen's University. Micro-credentials are digital badges that verify your new skills in entrepreneurship. You can use them on your LinkedIn, in your professional profiles, resumes, and to show future employers. You will have the opportunity to earn the Introduction to Design Thinking micro-credential and the High Performance Teamwork micro-credential upon successful completion of the content and assessments, which are outlined within the course that you will have access to. And speaking of teamwork, I just wanted to make a comment about our philosophy on teamwork. After working with hundreds of startups over the last 10 years, DDQIC has seen some patterns. We've developed a philosophy that diverse and multidisciplinary teams are much more successful in the long run because they're able to tackle problems from multiple perspectives. By diverse and multidisciplinary, we mean diversity of culture, life experience, career experience, and academic background. Teams with expertise across business, science and engineering fields, as well as arts and humanities fields, are much more successful in the long run. Each of you brings a unique perspective to a team. I would encourage you to identify what that is, and then rely on other teammates who are different from you to round out your blind spots or weaknesses while you all work towards a common goal. So we would encourage you throughout this course to network with your peers in the program and find co-founders to work with you as you build your business so you have the best chance of success. Once you have completed the training, you will join a network of hundreds of startups across Africa who have undergone similar rigorous training and are now starting to launch, grow, and scale their ventures. You become part of a Queen's network that spans globally and can help you be successful by offering wisdom and connections. Here are just some of the founders that have gone before you and their diverse businesses. High Bioplastics is manufacturing hemp-based food packaging to address climate goals. Mr. Neat is a line of car detailing accessories and products that is founded by Duncan Asamoah, who is based in Ghana. Biddy Green Ghana is a smokeless charcoal solution for home cooking use. And Jawato.com is Ghana's largest indigenous online marketplace. All of these ventures benefited from the same resources and training that you will embark on starting today. And with that, I wish you well on your journey. Take advantage of the program coaches and mentors that have been carefully selected to support you. And remember that you are part of a network at Queen's University that can help you on your journey. And feel free to reach out if you think there are ways that we can help you. We would love to be able to support you in any way we can.
Thank you very much, Chloe. It was great hearing from you. It has been great hearing from you. Chloe happened to be the program and outreach manager for the Benin Family Queen's Innovation Center at the Queen's University. We are going to hear details about the program. I know that my students are not going to take this opportunity for granted, but they will be given in their all in this their entrepreneurship journey. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Fortunately enough, in terms of an oil-free online opportunity, which the Queen's University is offering. And a brief about Queen's University. Queen's University themselves happens to be the best university in Canada and the fifth in the whole world according to the Times High Impact Ranking, which was being graded in 2021. In 2022, they still maintain being the best university in Canada and the seventh globally. Talking about millions of universities in the whole world, if you have to talk about those who are making an impact, this is a university which has been graded to be the fifth best in 2021 and the seventh best in 2022. All the universities in the whole world. So we are grateful for this opportunity. I made a small research in terms of talking to people about how much this opportunity would have cost. Initially, Greg has told us that it's costing Queen's University millions of dollars, but I wanted to know in terms of the facts, in terms of the practical entrepreneurship program you're going to provide. And in terms of the research being made, I was pretty much informed. It would have cost a single person about 54,000 Canadian dollars because it's the same content which you use at the master's level. We are getting this opportunity for free, which is not costing Ghanaians even a penny. We are much grateful for this opportunity. It is nothing but the best which you are going to offer us. And we know it being a practical entrepreneurship and innovation training. Differently, my students will be going through very well and have the best of this training from you. Thank you very much. We'll be joining in with the lecture series very soon as you'll be offering us. And from God willing tomorrow to they'll be beginning to have access to this content. Whoever who has been able to generate the net ID and being able to log in successfully can have this content to go through. And one even fortunate aspect is it's been virtual. The program itself is hybrid. If I say hybrid, meaning it's going to be a combination of a virtual side and the in-person. For the virtual side, we are going to take through, we are going to take it on Queen's University website. Aside that too, I think initially there is even an app which Queen's University have. We will be introducing them to for them to get it downloaded, so that even in the comfort of their home, they could be using their smartphones to go through with their laptops. In terms of its flexibility, it's been assured that they can even at any time. And what your recorded lecture series as well is even going to help a lot. It's really going to help a lot for them to be able to have the best of this training. We are very grateful, the program and outreach manager from Queen's University, for joining us and giving us details about this opportunity. We have some guests been joining us. Prof. Stanley Moffat has joined us. Prof, you have been recognized. You are welcome for joining us today too. He happens to be the president for the Data Link Institute in Tema. Prof, you are welcome. We also have great people also joining us, and they will be introduced along the way. A manager from Data Bank has joined us. For example, we are also being recognized. So we will be introducing them as they will be joining in. We have the trust fund manager from Young Good Ashanti, Mr. Francis, also joining in. Francis, you're also been recognized. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so the next to be introduced is my great partner, who I have been working this very thin work. This wouldn't have been possible without his support, and Yesterday, I was sharing with you, I've never seen someone who have a very great drive for change like him. We talk once every single day, and there has been a whole lot of planning which has gone through this for the past 2 years. We started this way back in 2017 after the International Symposium was being organized, where Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade, the Council of State member, Honorable Professor Margaret Amoako-Hene, to name a few. Based on the resolution, we decided to have this entrepreneurship program. And ever since this was being found that the way to address the youth unemployment situation is through entrepreneurship. There has been a series of conversations with this great man, and he happens to be my buddy. We started as partners, but we are now brothers. I'm very honored to introduce him today, for him also to take us through the program. He will be leading the mentorship session. He has an organization. He works with Smith Business School, a department under Queen's University, as their programs manager, also leading a social change over there. And in terms of his program as well, he also has an NGO which he has founded himself, which is called the Lidogo Incorporated, a network of business experts in Canada and globally as well, which we have a whole lot of respect on board to assist with the mentorship. So he having over 20 years experience in mentorship. I'm very much honored to introduce to you Matt Huxley. Matt Huxley, the floor is open for you to take us through the mentorship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was a heck of an introduction, Kingsley. I appreciate that. I don't know if it was all true, although he does call me at least once a day. We talk on WhatsApp. It's usually my first call in the morning. So that is definitely the true part of the conversation there. But no, it's been a pleasure. I'm really excited to talk through a little bit more on the specifics of the program. And just a couple things. One, I wanted to say a big thank you from my team too at Lidogo, Anthony and Pollock, who've done a great job in helping to really shape this, to build this up and actually lay out the calendar, the details, work with the different coaches, get things set up, do the interviews, all of those things that sometimes we take for granted. I just wanted to give a special shout out and a thank you for, in particular, those two who've done a lot and great work for that. And one, I'm going to actually go back to what Chloe said about the network, because I myself, Kingsley mentioned, I actually have a master's from Queen's University and been a part of a lot of the programs that the Innovation Center has offered. And truly the network, the people that you come into contact with are going to be one of the most valuable things that you can actually hope to gain from this program. They're going to walk you through a whole lot of information, a lot of training, a lot of content, and you're going to be pushing yourself, kind of what Dr. Roland Roberts saying before too. You got to get ready to run. But really, it's the people that you're going to meet along this journey, the things that they can help you with, the actual camaraderie, as well as then people sometimes putting their arm around you, but then also kind of holding you up when you need that as well, that support. It's going to be this collaborative kind of program that is going to help you move things forward, whether it's in your business that you're going to start here, whether it's in a job that you find. All these different things will come together, but it's the people, it's the human connection that's really going to be the key driver. So I can't say that enough. Kingsley mentioned a little bit about kind of what I do. I'm in social impact space. I've also I do coaching and launched a business, Lidogo, which is really kind of bringing the best about peer learning and harnessing a lot of that wisdom to then give back to others. And it's been a fun ride for me. As you mentioned, I had 20 plus years experience. I wasn't always sitting in the same kind of spot. I actually was in supply chain and logistics for 20 plus years, worked my way up kind of in a corporate type ladder structure. I wanted to do that, I guess, when I was coming out of undergraduate. I wanted to work my way up the ladder. I wanted to gain international experience, and I wanted to launch my own business and build it up. So those first 20 years I dedicated to really those first two. I did get to live abroad and live in Europe and travel all across the globe. And I was able to have some success. But I really was missing out on this purpose missing out on really driving something of my own. And I think many of you out there might be feeling a similar thing where you want to create, you want to build. And some of you have already kind of moved the ball. Some of you are just getting started. But one of the key things is having that team, having that people, having the advisors, having the sounding boards that can help you along the way. Entrepreneurship, as was mentioned too, can be a lonely ride, but it doesn't have to be. So what we're going to be doing with Lidogo and partnering with all the different universities, in particular Queens too, is helping to build that bridge and to give that support along the way so that you do not have to feel alone, that you won't feel like you're one person in this whole cog trying to change the world. Because when we can all come together, we can all support each other, that's when we can really move the needle. That's when we can really change the world. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen, and I'm going to walk through a little bit about the program. And if there's any kind of questions and stuff, put them in the chat, Q&A. I might not be able to get to them exactly while I'm talking, but I will promise get back to everybody as soon as I can here. All right. So as we go through, there's going to be 3 phases of the program. Chloe mentioned roughly a little bit about this, but in the first part, it's kind of that building the foundation, an exploratory phase. And all 1,000 students that were admitted to this program will be engaged for this. It's going to be a 2-month duration, and you're going to go through that Bill Aulett entrepreneurship curriculum, which you'll have in the Queen's portal. So all of you should be having that and getting familiar a little bit with that part of it. We'll work with you and help you on the way. So don't feel like if you haven't started with either Slack or a few other things, we're going to get you started here. So also the connections we're building up in the Slack channel. For those, we've seen some of the people have been active, some not as much yet, but we're going to be having you broken down by program coaches as well, of which then each person would then have a specific group area so that you and then the coaches can chat, and then you can have one-to-one connections as well. The coaches will then be reaching out and be having a weekly session as well with the first group. In the beginning, we're going to be having around 30 coaches, each of which will have about 33 or so different students that we're going to be onboarding. So kind of if you think about it, starting in that explore phase, it's the macro, the higher level kind of scenario. Then there's going to be also some masterclass sessions. Chloe mentioned that there's going to be the lecture series as well. So we're going to give you the opportunity to participate in a lot of different learning engagements. Now, mind you, we know that you have busy schedules and everything too, but we want to provide the insights, the wisdom, and the access to that information. And again, we'll make it available to you so you can take advantage of that. And as was mentioned, that submission of the business model canvas, that is that stage gate. That is the first determining factor of that part of it. So all the different students will need to conclude all of the different education material in the Queen's portal. We would need to have a submitted business model canvas, and then the coaches along the way would be working with you. But then from there, this is essentially, for those that don't know, kind of a business model canvas. It's a condensed business plan that would contain all these different elements that are going to be critical to you launching a business or driving business success. Many of you, some of these terms are not necessarily new or too foreign to you, but as you dig down deeper, these are all the key elements, the key blocks and the building blocks to driving a successful business. So what we're going to be doing along with the coaches and even with Queens too, what is then the best, what are the best business model campuses? What are the entrepreneurs, who are the entrepreneurs and the businesses that have the most potential for success? And then who are the people that are most committed to this program and to their business? Because what then ends up happening is we're going to move into an intermediate stage called Ignite. So from there, 200 students would be admitted. So the business model canvas, the commitment, the activity, the engagement, and then the validity of that business model canvas in the business would be determining factors that the coaches and some of the administrators would take into consideration to identify those 200. This stage also would last 2 months in duration. And then what you would get, those same 30 coaches would be reassigned as necessary based on subject matter expertise, based on relationships, and based on how we can optimally help each of the different entrepreneurs. So with that, you're going to have more of a smaller group coach setting each week, not that full 33. You're going to move that down to really in a smaller kind of group, 6, 7. And then the masterclass sessions continue, same with the lecture series. And then in this stage, what will happen is it's a pitch video. So you're going to be doing a pitch for your business. There's a lot of different styles, approaches. The coaches, some of the education material will help you get to that point. You're going to be doing a lot of practices along the way and really working through the fundamentals of your business and the business model. So we will then be starting to introduce you to more advisors, both some in Ghana that are actually successful businessmen and people there, as well as people across the globe. So to give you different insights. So for example, if something regards to marketing or operations or human resources, transportation, whatever the specifics that might be relevant to your business, we will begin to help to shape a lot more of what your business is. That would lead into then the launch stage. So after determining based on the pitch videos, we would then select the top 75 students to move on to this final stage. This stage is a bit longer. It's 4 months in duration. So these students would actually get some more one-to-one time, as well as then an even smaller group with maybe roughly 2 to 3 people in a group at times. So this was really focused on growth. We talked about growth mindset. We talked about building businesses and scaling. This is where we really spend a lot of time to move that forward, connect with more and more advisors or people that can help to drive it. Like I said, building that bridge, creating that network to help move it forward. It takes people, it takes resources, it takes access. No different than if it's me or if it's you. So what would happen here at the end of this is there is a pitch competition. There's going to be potential for getting into the DDQIC pitch competition. And then we will also, for E-Jobs4All, be running a pitch competition as well. So a little bit from a higher level, here's the timeline as far as when everything kind of happens. So again, starting now with January, we move through. The main focus is going to be this business model Canvas submission. You're going to be taking the courses. You can potentially take some of the digital certificates and the ones that Chloe mentioned as well in design thinking and others. And then we'll continue to then start to shape and harness and build what it is into your business. The coaches will then work with you to fine tune that model and then answer any questions that you may have. Based on the top selections, we will take 200 to move on into that next round at the end of February into March. And then that focus is going to be a pitch video. So each of the different entrepreneurs, not solely, but they will be focused on really perfecting and harnessing a good pitch for their business. Also, we'll be working in challenging and really building up the actual parts of your business, the nuts and bolts. Because if it doesn't make sense, if those economics don't work, if the marketing side doesn't work, if the team is not the right fit, then at that point, that's what we're going to continue to talk and challenge and call out so that you can refine it and make it to the best of your ability. At the end of April, then there's a final 75 that are selected. They will then, in those final 4 months, get a lot of the training, a lot of the access and more with the advisors. There's potential pitch competitions with DDQIC. And then at the end, for ours in September, that's when the E-Jobs4All pitch competition will begin. And for those that are in there, there would be access to some investors, there'd be access to some potential funds, and we would then be continuing along the way, actually helping to market, introduce, and build up the brand of your business as well. So from the coaches, so as I mentioned, there's going to be roughly 30 that come through. We're going to be having weekly group sessions. People will be reaching out with specific times. We were going to be actually giving you all the different groupings, and then you're going to get the support along the way, answering some questions about the business model canvas, any kind of questions with regards to your business. So things of that nature will be in most coaching office hours. They'll be there on a specific time every week to help you along the way. There's going to be a lot of communication. We understand that. So in Slack, there'll be space for a chat as well directly with your coach. So each of the first group would be then together. And then at that point, that'll be kind of that one place that everything can kind of happen. A lot of the quick questions and things like that. And then when you're having the weekly Zoom type of group session, from there, you'll be able to really start to move that ball forward. And they will help you along the way to basically refine and bring the best out in what you've got. The master classes. So what these are kind of mini workshops or sessions, sometimes an ask me anything type of scenario with an advisor or somebody that has a lot of subject matter expertise, or the group that's in this cohort. There's kind of Q&A, as we mentioned. We would actually allow you to provide the questions and then have a webinar similar to this, but just essentially asking your questions of that. If it's a smaller group, we would have more of an intimate setting in Zoom where we can see all the boxes and all the faces. But for some of them, to get to the biggest group available, we're going to be recording and then providing a lot of the Q&A sessions like that. So continue to stay advised on Slack with all the details in the calendar. We will provide all of the different details on the calendar here, but just as a heads up, we're going to be doing at least one masterclass a month. So you can see in the first block on the left, first one is actually coming up soon next week. We'll provide more information in the link there. Then February 8th, there'll be one in March, April, May, June, and then July and August, as you see on the slide there. So we will send out and provide the link in Slack. And so you have all the information there so you can put it on your calendars. And then we'll also provide you with the contacts and then the subject matter so that you can definitely attend the ones that are most germane or relevant to your business. Now, I know along the way, we were making a cut from 1,000 to 200 to 75 based on certain parameters. All of the participants are able to attend the master classes as we move through this lecture series. So we will then make all of the different parts available. They will still, everyone can still be available in Slack and some of the different channels. And we will also midway through move you into a Lidogo peer learning platform where we're going to be bringing in a lot of other entrepreneurs as well. So we want you to continue on with your progress, continue on with your idea. You know, this is not one of those things where just because you don't get selected for something, the game ends. We want it to continue on. We want you to continue to build and then actually stay connected to those that are still in the program. So for a pitch competition, what we have, we're doing a little differently in a tournament style, actually. So there's going to be some funds that will be available and some other different investors along the way that we're going to be really judging and actually participating in some of the different engagements here. We start out with the 75 in September, and then there's going to be some prep weeks, and then we're going to almost in like a World Cup kind of format, tournament format. We'll have some head-to-head pitch video competitions, of which then the judges and the investors will be able to select who goes on to the next round. 64 are going to then proceed after much of the work. And then in October, we'll begin that next series of head-to-head competitions that will then lead to the final 16. And then from there, it will go down. We will have actually a pretty big production and event for the finalists in the competition, and then continue to drive more and more investors and opportunities to those that remain, and actually to all those in this part of the format. So as I mentioned along the way, how do we kind of communicate? How do we work together? the Slack channel is open. So it's access to the organizers such as myself and Kingsley and some people from our team. We've got the coaches that are going to be coming into there very soon, and some advisors. The coaches, we've set up specific groups. Right now they're private and not visible, but each of the coaches will have a specific group, and then the different parties that will begin with them will be in there as well. You're going to be accessing Queen's platform, the portal, so you'll be able to have all of the content, learning, and then be able to submit the business model canvas and content through that channel. You have access to everything pretty much right there at your fingertips. And if these other methods or vehicles are not able to be utilized, we'll be sharing our email addresses and also just a general support email too for Lidogo that you can always reach out to. I've actually shared my email to a few people even yesterday with some of the questions and answers and things. So we're not shy. So please feel free to reach us an email or even LinkedIn, whatever the chosen platform is. So I'm going to turn this to some of the questions. I see some popped up in the box, and then I'll be able to answer a few of these here real quick. But we are incredibly excited to kind of move this forward and get started so that you can just really begin your learning journey and then be connected to some of the people that can help support you along the way. I know not only with the coaches, the advisors that you're going to meet, but the peers, your peers, all those around you in this program, you can learn so much from. And you never know whether one day they may be working with you alongside you along a specific journey. So have fun, enjoy it. It's going to be a heck of a ride. And we're very, very proud and very happy to be a part of those that are addressing poverty and that are helping to really change Ghana for the positive when it comes to youth unemployment. So thank you so much. Kingsley, if you want to, I'm going to stop sharing. And then if you want to pop up here, we can maybe answer some questions together here. Okay, so a couple of, I think the Slack link, yeah, we can send that out again. That's not a problem. We'll make sure that that happens for everybody. Each stage qualify for a certification. Not everyone is a specific certification. At the end, you would get a certificate for participating when you do complete that first part of it as well. And then getting to the end, I guess the reward is a little bit more with regards to potential investors and some dollars that could go in. Yep, we can share the document with everyone on Slack. So I'll share the slides for everybody so that you do have that content as well. And also we do have the recording, so we'll post that link as well for anybody that may have missed some of that too. And another question, I guess, was too, when 200 are selected, does it mean it comes to an end for the 800? I partially answered this a little bit, but the other 800 know that the journey doesn't stop as far as everything. You're still able to participate in the master classes. We will still have some coaches that will be available to help offer services. And then we would then move you into a platform as well that we're going to be launching that'll have a full community of entrepreneurs where then you can actually work together and then basically learn from peers as well. So we'll be coming out with that kind of next step, from there as well. Yeah, so I guess the same kind of thing. We're going to be continuing to maintain the students, so we will be working with them as well while the other part does go on from there. We want to know if the business ideas will be limited to specific fields or something in general. So yeah, sometimes the business ideas are like agriculture, agribusiness, technology. Yeah, so when we looked at the full breadth of all of the different applications, there was a lot of different industries and different segments that were represented. So we do have some coaches, and we would bring advisors that have specific subject matter expertise in those realms. We want to actually, as much as we possibly can, cater to the specific businesses that people are building so that we have subject matter experts that can actually help drive that part. So we would then try to match as much as we possibly can. And for those that move on to the later levels, we would then more or less customize advisory to those specific parties. And then Kwasi mentioned too, like innovation and entrepreneurship model. Right now, the MBA is not available to complete the basics. I think, the focus is definitely on innovation and entrepreneurship. And Kingsley mentioned yesterday as well that, really this program is being able to utilize entrepreneurship as our lever in addressing the poverty and some of the youth unemployment that exists in Ghana right now. But on a broader scale, as maybe potential growth and other things, we would certainly entertain and like to have more of the business administration basics. And then we'll try to then supplement some of those things through the advisors and coaches, and then potentially recommendations and connections that can exist from there. The courses are indeed self-paced, and the deadlines will be forthcoming. So we will provide you all the details. It's also in the Queen's portal, and we'll provide you with the calendar as well on Slack. Yes, and we'll also break down all the parameters for what actually is going to be requirement for the 1,000 to 200 to 75, so that everybody's clear, and it will be in Slack. And yep, startups do stand a good chance for those with entrepreneurial ideas. So it's not necessarily just based on how far along you are, but again, a lot of things with the validity of the idea and essentially the business model canvas and basically, is it a scalable type of idea? So it's not necessarily if it's a concept or idea at this stage, we can certainly move that forward. And we're looking at the idea, concept, and also the individual. So if somebody is very, very committed and has that talent, that's where we will continue to work with that person to help shape it up. Our intent is not to say, okay, we cut from 1,000 down to 75, and the 925 people are basically no longer part of something. We want to continue to build this ecosystem. Even go back to what Chloe said. Queens has done a great job in building that ecosystem, and we were hoping to do the same thing and then connect it to the Queens ecosystem as well, so that there's more and more talent all together in the same spot. And Kingsley, I think there's a lot of questions coming. So what we can do, we'll take those questions, everybody, and then I'm gonna send out a little Q&A sheet based on what all you've had, and then I'll post that in Slack so that we can kind of move that forward.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Matt. It has always been great hearing from you. You have shared a whole lot about the program. I think the key has to do with the practicality of the program. There have been several entrepreneurship programs which has been ongoing. And ours is one of a kind, which I keep saying that it has never happened even in our history of the country. This opportunity has never happened in the history of Ghana. So if you are fortunate to be part of this program, what we are going to offer you is nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Because in terms of the program advisors, we have entrepreneurial groups. So like I was saying, in terms of there are several programs which has been ongoing, but ours happens to be one of a kind, which I could say for a fact that this opportunity has never happened in the history of our country. So I would advise we take nothing but the best from all what we are going to be taking you through. We have a great team. We have a great team trying to alert Prof. Ade, but it seems I'm not reaching him. We have a great team.
No, I'm on.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes. Should I close now?
No, please. We have some people to introduce. After I'm done with it, then we'll leave it to you for you to do that.
Yeah.
There was some
But
sound
mass
coming
media-
from your end. Hello, Prof.
Yes.
Why will you be leaving us soon? If you'll be leaving us very soon, you could share something with us before leaving. If not, after you are done with all the sections, then you come in.
Okay. But no, I have to attend another meeting.
Okay.
So can I just say a word or two? And
Sure, great. You can go ahead.
first of all, let me thank Matt for a wonderful introduction and overview of this. I'm sure it's going to be an exciting journey. I'm particularly happy that even though 200 will be selected, the remaining 800 will still have opportunity to continue with on their own. And I want to thank all the Canadians and Leodego for all this you have put together. And we trust that in the end, you will not be disappointed from our end as these Ghanaian young entrepreneurs take hold of their own dreams and make them come through. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. We wish you the best with your meeting and have a great rest of the day too. Okay, so back to what I was saying, in terms of the practicality of this content, it's really been assured. We have a very great team who will be giving nothing but the best, from the advisors to the coaches, to the coordinators, and everyone which has been involved in this program. And entrepreneurial groups, even in terms of the advisors, those in our country, we are connecting you to the entrepreneurial groups in the country. For instance, those who want to go into the pharmaceutical, we have Nana Dr. Michael Addo to be assistant from there, who will be advising them. He's been into pharmaceutical manufacturing and a whole lot of businesses. He will be assistant from that angle as well. When it comes to, it's like we have a whole bunch of people, great people going to assist from that. And like Matt, I was talking about him being a coordinator and a great partner in this program. He has been coordinating mentorship, leading mentorship programs, having experience over 20 years. So that's also to say that we have nothing but the best to offer in this program as well. If you come to me too, like I was also sharing about me also being part of this program. When it comes to mentorship, I've also been in it for years, having served as an advisory mentor for Queen's Young Leaders Program, which has been established by Queen Elizabeth, our lead Queen Elizabeth in the UK. I've also served with President Clinton in his Clinton Global Initiative University, also in the United States of America. I've served with YALI, which is the Young African Leaders Initiative, also been established by the United States government, also as a mentor. So in terms of those I've groomed, those I've mentored, I have over no less than 1,000 people which I've set them up when it's come to business, which I'm still, even with all these programs, still mentoring people with from YALI, still mentoring people who are also in the President Clinton program globally. These are young global leaders, which these great programs picks them, they groom them, they give them the best for them to make an impact in their country. So we are bringing on board all these experience. And trust me, even if I'm being the only one to handle all these 1,000 people, it's no work for me when it comes to mentorship, because I've been grooming more than that over the years. So we have nothing but the best to offer you. It has been a great program. And like I'm saying, aside the mentorship, aside the best training which we are going to offer you from Queen's University, we also have funding opportunities which we will be offering all those that we are going to train. Some of it, we have investment opportunities, which all of these will be provided. The very reason why those that we are starting with are not going to be graduated, like we started with 1,000, graduating with 1,000, has to do with the fact that we are expecting, as we are giving you the best, we expect you to come out with a very big and innovative business idea. A big and innovative business idea. Remember, this is a project which we are doing to address youth unemployment situation in the country. So it is not a small business establishment which we want you to. We are giving you the best training. So you should be able to think outside the box and to be able to come out with a very great and laudable initiative. Something which can be your cash cow. Something which not only you will be milking for, but the whole country can come in, like you employing other people as well. So we are in as much as we are going to give you the training, you should also be able to come out with the best initiative. If not, then we are sorry to let you go. But not even that, we'll still be supporting you on the way. So that's the reason why we have 3 stages of the program. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, which to me I term it as the foundation, the intermediate, and the advanced. So you need to be moving through all these stages. So as smart, enlightened, stage 1, as we are starting with 1,000 people, the committed ones will be selected by using the business model canvas. Our program is practical in nature, that there's not the chew and important which we are going to do. So we don't expect those that we are going to train to just come and chew, but there is no assessment even like that. So that's why with our assessment is going to be the business model canvas. The business model canvas is just a page document, like a business plan. We are not picking a business plan. We know some people in this country, what they do, they come train you, pick business ideas, your business plan, then they'll be opening businesses with it. That's not what we are going to do. So we are not interested with your business plan. We just need just this 1-page document, which should be detailing. If having gone through the program, definitely, if you are coming into a business, there should be a problem you have identified. Because all business ideas addresses a problem. So what problem have you identified? What then is the solution? What is your value proposition? How differently is your initiative from? Assuming if you want to go into maybe cosmetics, it shouldn't just be you just doing the cosmetics. How differently can you do it? So all these are what you are going to use to grade to select these people. Because we are giving you nothing but the best. So in terms of practicality, just think through. Think and come out with a very great initiative. And you'll be good to be selected to go to the second stage. And we can assure you that we have great investors who are on board, which they are even ever ready to invest even $1 million, which has been led by, I'll be introducing him as we move on. We have a very great person in this country who is supporting me with the investment. He's a venture capitalist. So he has been at talks. He has been having several meetings with them, trying to bring all sort of investors on board for them to come and assist. I'll be introducing him when I get to the introduction side. So we are going to offer you nothing but the best. We are going to offer you nothing but the best. Practical trainings like design thinking. Design thinking from the, you need to empathize into the situation. The idea comes, we help you with the prototyping and the testing. These are some of the things that we are going to offer you. So it's not like you are going to read pure entrepreneurship ideologies, then that is going to be all. No. Coupled with the mentorship. That's why we have added mentorship. So once you are reading, you have the coaches to assist you. Then the advisors who have already taken the lead into the industry which you want to go, we assign you to someone also to assist you on the way. So we are grooming you on the way for you to be a successful entrepreneur. We were to have Honorable Kennedy Japan also been with us, but it's unfortunate. He initially told me that he, because of he contested his being a presidential candidate, there was some meetings he needed to attend in South Africa and in Dubai. It's unfortunate he still hasn't been back. He assured me that he will do everything possible to be here by 2 p.m. so he could join us by 3. But it's so unfortunate. I've been trying to reach him. His line seems not going through. That's to show that he's still not back from his trip. We are unfortunate he can't join us. He also on board, he being a successful entrepreneur, he's also on board also to assist. So it's like we have a great team, successful business leaders in the country who are all giving in their support to assist. When it comes to those in Obuasi, I'll also be introduced. We have Angogo Ashanti. Angogo Ashanti has set up a skills center and is also going to be used to provide trainings, a skills training, as part of also helping entrepreneurs. And even in terms of our team, the partners, Madam Joyce Ababi also being an advisor. She's a partner, but she's also an advisor in this program as well. So as a fashion guru, you can't mention the fashion gurus in this country without even mentioning her name being the first. Having several years of experience, several awards, and a lady who has made it, even set up a great university. So these are all the people who are going to help when it's come to the mentorship. So those who are going to the mentorship are privileged to have her and to be under her leadership when it's come to the fashion side. Great professors are all on board also to assist. So we are giving nothing but the best. And we expect you also to give us the best as a way of you using to address the youth unemployment situation in the country. Permit me to introduce some people, great personalities who are joining us. We have someone joining us, a great person joining us from Germany. And one thing I like about this woman is her also drive for change. She's into impact investing. She reached out to me that she wants to come on board to assist. And that was like, wow. It's like things like this don't happen in our country. Someone who is ever ready to even take all her expenses, her flight, her accommodation, everything that she needs to incur, all the expenses she needs to incur, just to come on board to assist, to make an impact in these 1,000 people that we have selected. I'm grateful to introduce her. She is a person of Hidas, Zaka. She happens to be the senior manager, which is sustainable innovation for PwC. PwC is not a small organization to deal with. She happens to be their senior manager, the one spearheading sustainable innovation. So when it comes to innovation, she also be assisted. PwC in Germany. I'm grateful to introduce her. She is part of us. When it comes to impact investing, she also will be connecting us to investors. And definitely with her help too, we will be privileged to have some investors also coming on board to invest into businesses in Ghana. She's ever ready to come into the country. But in terms of her coming, we have had talks at the back, and we have agreed for her joining in the in-person training. So she's not going to come anytime soon. But when we are to have the in-person, where we will be expecting the faculty member from Queen's University, this great woman will be joining in. She'll be coming into the country to assist this program. Headers, you are highly recognized. We appreciate your support and your drive for change and to assist Ghana. Thank you very much. And I think even in terms of next week with the World Economic Forum, which will be ongoing, those joining us who will be privileged to be going to Switzerland, Davos for that program. I'm talking about the Shippers annual meeting. She will be a speaker, so you definitely get to meet. She has already informed me that if there is anyone from our program coming, she's ever ready to meet with that person. And we are very grateful for all these opportunities you are giving us as well. We have a team from Queen's University joining Adidi KYC. Bruna, you are highly recognized. We also have Megan. They are all program coordinators with the Queen's University, then in the Queen's Innovation Center. I have my great man, who happens to be my head of department, Professor Kingsley Opoku Appiah, also with us. Prof. Kingsley Opoku Appiah with Kia University head of department. Prof, you're highly recognized. He's an advisor, and he also be assistant when it comes to helping you, supporting you, come out with laudable business initiatives, which will be a hit in the country. He has been a great speaker. It's like a very great man, which been highly recognized. Prof, I highly recognize you for joining us. I'll be coming to you. He has been assisting in terms of advising. I'll be going to him pretty soon to also receive much from him as well. We have a senior lecturer from Kia University, Sheikh Sabawi Zakaria, also joining us. Sheikh, you are also highly recognized. The team from Lidogo, Palok and Anthony, you are also highly recognized, joining us today. Madam Jaisa Babiu, you are highly recognized. And the one which I was talking about, that he's into venture capital, and he's bringing on board investors, which is Mr. Obrimpong is also joining us. Mr. Obrimpong, you are highly recognized. We'll be looking forward to receiving a lot of investors from your end. He has already started a journey. The investors were to join us today, but because of their hectic schedule, it couldn't become possible. As we move on with our program, we get to know all the investors, what they are in for, and what we expect for you to put yourself together to get some funds from these investors. We appreciate you, Mr. Obrimpong, for joining us. We have a team from Angogo Ashanti, trust fund manager, Francis also, and his team also joining in. A team from Data Bank Foundation also joining in, Prince Ampofo and his team also joining in. We appreciate all of you for your support. Okay. So Matt, I'll now leave the mic to you. The floor is now yours if you have something to share with us. Whoa, I saw Greg, I think he has left us.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay,
so Chloe and Greg had just left, so I think that actually would do it. I think I said most of my things. I've been getting to some of the questions, everybody, so I'm going to take the list of all these different ones here. And what we're going to do is compile a little bit of a Q&A so that everybody has some of the answers as well. Some of the questions have been about business model canvas, which we will post as well into Slack. I'm probably not going to be able to do a whiteboard right here at this point in time. We will then also post a lot of information about the specific coaches. You'll get some information on them, a little bit on their bio and then the content, and then as well, who is in your specific breakdown with each of the coaches. So we'll have that information as well in Slack. We're working through that. Like I mentioned before, the breakdown in Slack already exists. We just need to make it public, but we have to make the invitations out to everybody so that everyone can see it. And then we'll continue with a calendar as well for the master classes and the different deadlines so that everybody's aware of what all the requirements are for that part of it. So if not to, I mean, I've got some of the lists in here in the Q&A that I have not gotten to yet, but feel free to send a message to me in Slack or in my email. And then at that point, I'm going to put that in the chat here too. But if you send me a message or if you actually just hit me up in Slack, we can get back to you on any of the kind of the questions that aren't necessarily addressed in the Q&A. Just ask you to give us just a little bit of time to aggregate them all and put them in there. I think all the questions have been fantastic. And again, kind of what we've been saying too, this is our first year bringing this together. There are a lot of ideas that have come to the table of how we can expand this and how we can make it better and bigger. Not just focusing just on the innovation entrepreneurship, but a lot of the other business fundamentals. Some questions regarding to like MBA type style things. So, again, we're getting our feet wet, we're building this up, and we don't want to leave the other people behind. And I think that's, Kingsley did a great job of talking through that as well. So we're going to do what we can to just build this and to support and help you. So, ask your patience as well sometimes. Thank you for everything as we've been kind of working through some of the technical difficulties and some people moving in and out of the panelists. But on the whole, we are really, really excited to get this off the ground and to start to actually help you shape the businesses. Again, we're going to be coming in and seeing things from the idea stage, things that are already kind of in existence and looking to more in the growth stage. But as we move through it, we want you to bond, work with each other. And if you think about it, our goal together, maybe even brought you into this as well. You have an idea, you've been inspired to do something. And now you've got a lot of peers that can help you along the way. And somebody had mentioned in the chat in the question too, is it more for individuals or kind of a group right now? I mean, yes, you're starting out as individuals, but as we move through, say, for example, somebody's business idea didn't get selected, but you found that person was incredibly driven, ambitious, had, great ideas, there's not to say that that person couldn't be part of your team too now, so work with each other. Our goal is to address the poverty and to really change the game when it comes to youth unemployment and unemployment in general. And if you all can be that engine to drive this is where it really starts. This is where it begins. So our goal, we want to create the job. We want to create the businesses, have the success. And you know what? We can't do it without you. So we're going to do our best to support and give you everything you need along that way. And yes, there are those different stage gates and the cuts, but I would be lying if I said that I didn't ever get cut from a team. I didn't get the grade that I wanted. And even when I was starting businesses, like I got turned and rejected from all these different things. But it's one of those things. Does it make you want it more? Does it make you work harder or walk away? So as you go through this and you begin this journey and you're going into the Queen's Portal and you're learning and you're engaging and you're meeting with the coach and you're doing these different things, how bad do you want it? What is your why? What's the reason behind you being in this program? And I think the ones that are really passionate about their purpose, the ones that really want to drive and make a change, are going to do exactly that. And it's regardless of whether they go on into this stage or that stage. People will always find a way. So for me, Kingsley, I think on the last parts here, again, we'll be providing more information.
Okay.
And just as we all go, get fired up, everybody. Get passionate.
Sure.
Great thing to have.
We have, I think we could also give our panelists the opportunity to also share something with us. And for KNOT's speech, Prof. Kewo is with us, so please add him as a panelist to share something with us. We will begin with Prof. Stanley. Please, can you share something with us? We are done. We need to be moving into a breakout session pretty soon, but we need to hear from the panelists before we go.
Yes, Kingsley, thank you very much. And I think that I'm happy I was able to make it for the second part, that is today's interaction. A lot has been said. I think I've listened to Matt all day. I can listen to him all day because he has a lot of stuff to share with. There's something that I think most of the thousands selected didn't know. And I'm going to say this because I can glean from some Q&As that some of them are asking questions pertaining to whether or not the initial 1,000 that was selected, if 200 go on to be selected for the intermediate, then what happens to the 800? I mean, if you glance through the questions, most of them, I think, didn't expect that. And I think that some of them may be a little downhearted. But I also like what Matt said. The fact that you are not selected for the intermediate does not mean that you are totally cut out. He said something very briefly, and I think that is what those 800 should take it on board. Whatever you do, whatever your idea is, don't slack. Keep it burning. Because whoever goes on to the intermediate and then even manages to go on to the advanced, as you progress, whatever idea, whatever lofty, practical, realistic, productive idea you have, that person who has advanced to the last stage can bring you on board to create that teamwork. It's a matter of sharing ideas. It's a matter of being very, very passionate about what you do. And so this is just to encourage all of those who perhaps could not advance or cannot advance to the intermediate, that it's not lost at all. And I have seen situations like this. I've attended some of these virtual conferences where those who were not initially selected ended up being selected by would-be investors. And what they are doing now surpasses those who were initially selected. Can you believe that? So this is just to encourage you, okay? But again, I also say this is to, I'm happy this information has come out, but this is also to make sure that you excel, you polish up your idea so well, so that you also be selected. So it's going to get the competition right on. I think I always say this: competition unearths great potentials. So don't let it go. Don't let me downhearted. Don't just say that, oh, I thought that I was going to be all the way. No, it doesn't work like that. And if you think about what Kingsley said also, that the investment that is going to be pumped into your idea is so huge to be able to build people up to create jobs for thousands and thousands of people. It's a huge investment. And that is also to say that you don't expect that huge investment to cut across all the 1,000 people. Okay, even though the people on board are, resourceful and very, bright in what they do, you don't expect that to happen. And so this is very, very realistic. And this is just to encourage all of you, for those who will be able to progress to the intermediate stage, and then finally for those who have been progressed to the advanced stage, is the competition, is your idea. Okay, look at the canvas very well and see how you can plot in ideas that speak volumes. So will be invested. I think that if you do that, you not only progress, but you turn out to be one of the best entrepreneurs that this country has ever had. So good luck to all of you. And I pray that you take this as an opportunity to move on. Thank you, Kingsley.
Thank you very much, Prof, for this great words from you. Matt, please promote Prof. K also. Nana, Dr. Michael Addo, you then take...
Hello.
Nana.
Hello.
Nana, we can hear you.
What can I say? Than for them to keep having all the notes that have been given to them, all the messages that all these great panelists have given them, so that when they go home, they should screen through and ask you, Kingsley, questions. Because I think they haven't gotten the opportunity to ask us questions for us to answer the specific questions that they want to know. So when they go, they should just make a whole list of their questions and then ask Kingsley to address it to some of us, that we can help them. I believe they have enjoyed this 2-day seminar or interaction. And I believe they should be better off than before. Thank you, Kingsley.
And now before you go, we received a lot of messages when we go home yesterday, people asking about your book, how they could get it. Initially, I've already had a conversation with you, which we will be picking from your office. So I want to inform you that some people have been showing an interest. Okay. And I'm also recommending to all the 1,000 people. So I'll be coming to the office. Those who will be showing an interest, I'll pick their names. Then I'll come to the office to pick the books for them.
That will be fine.
Sure. But can I know? I'm always available. Can we know the cost of it? How one is going to cost?
Oh, because of you, they should just pick it for 50 Ghana cedi.
Great. Great. Great.
Because of you, Kingsley.
Sure, I know. I know.
Because the book two is going for 120. The book two, wow. And the book one is 80. But wow. Because of Kingsley, and I want you to succeed with these 1,000 entrepreneurs, I'll give it to you at 50 each. Okay. That's cost price. Seriously.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nana. I'll be coming to the office very soon. As soon as I get to Accra, I'll be coming in very soon. Okay. So see you very soon. And thank you very much.
And I hope you can also link with Queen's University, okay?
Sure, I will. I will surely do that. Okay. Thank you very much. Now.
Welcome, sir.
Matt, have you been able to add Prof. K.O. as a panelist?
There we go. Now we see.
Okay. Prof?
Humbled to be here, and the opportunity to impact lives is with us again. And we thank God that we are alive such a time like this where everybody is crying for employment, but we have decided to create an opportunity for others to be their own masters of the game. To the young entrepreneurs, I would say it's a journey which is unknown. A journey where you don't have a destination in mind. You might try so many, but what will work is your passion. And I will advise that whatever idea you are coming out with, you should build it around your passion. Don't build it around profits. Build it around people. Have it at the back of your mind that you want to help end poverty and hunger in all forms. And by doing so, I think that the world and Africa, as we find ourselves, our major headache is poverty and hunger. If you can provide a solution to that, through that, you end up impacting on your generation. That is all what I can say for now. As we proceed along the line, I may come out with more. But for now, whatever idea you are coming out with, it should be based on your passion. And the goal should be to end poverty and hunger. And it should be people-centered, not profit-oriented idea. Once you are able to get the problem of poverty being solved and hunger being eliminated, through that, your business will grow, your business will survive, and your business will be built to last. I thank Kingsley for the opportunity to count me with him all the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. It has always been inspiring hearing from you. Those who don't know, Prof. K.O. has been my mentor all these years. Obi our master. So I'm very grateful to be under him. He has been coaching me on and a whole lot, and I'm very much grateful having you on board on this program and this project also as a mentor, as an advisor. He will be assisting us with his experience, great experience when it comes to corporate governance and business. He's an entrepreneur himself. He is an entrepreneur himself and a very great lecturer in the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology as well. So he will be assistant from the advisory side as well. So Prof, I'll be coming to you from time to time. There has been a whole lot, even in terms of this program planning, this project planning, and a whole lot. He's always ready and available to talk to me and to give me some directions. I appreciate, Prof, for your assistance and your support throughout the journey. Thank you very much. Okay. Matt, the floor is now yours.
Okay. We're going to then, I'm going to put a link in the chat. So we know we're going over a little time. What we're going to do is jump into a different Zoom room because we're in a webinar here. And for those that come in, what we're going to do is have just like a peer group. So you get to meet a little bit of your fellow cohort and everything like that. So I would say in the beginning, just do some general introductions, who you are, what is it that you're looking to start, your business, what you're about, and really just, again, kind of like what we've been talking about before, and everyone brought it up, it's the power of the connection. Who is in this with you? What are you learning about them? So we're going to do that just for about 20, 30 minutes. And then at that point, we're going to close that out to end that part of the day for the virtual orientation. I think the feedback was good. Yes, we will have in the Slack, like I mentioned, putting in some of the Q&A parts. But then if you all have the questions, feel free to put them in there as well. And, Kingsley, Anthony, and Pollock and I will do our best to answer them as swiftly as possible. So I'm going to put that in here. We will end this session. And then after that, any questions, just let us know. And we will go from there. So Kingsley, any other final words? I think we covered our material. And
sure.
yeah, we'll go into the breakout sessions. And again, this one is just real informal, getting to know some of the people. Obviously, this is virtual. We're not in person at this point in time. So yeah, just have a little fun with it, get to know each other a little bit, talk about what it is that you're doing, what superpower do you have? So then kind of understanding what all the skills are in the room too. And we can move you guys around as well. So Kingsley, any other final words of wisdom and motivation?
Oh, I think what has been covered. It's okay. Sure.
Okay, everybody, we'll end it right there. And thanks again for your time. You know, we have asked a lot of you for the past couple of days, and we're excited to start to build something together with you. The link is in there. I'll join over that in a second, and then Kingsley and I can pop over a little bit, answer some questions too. And then, yeah, but have fun with it, get to know each other. Thanks, everybody.